Hi guys, it's Dr. Bailey again. So, another common visit reason that we have are, especially from new parents, and it has to do with babies twitching, right? Now, we often associate twitching with some sort of seizure-like activity. So really what I want to do is give you pointers for like what to be concerned about and what not really to worry about so much. Okay, so first off, you have a newborn. Your newborn was in your stomach for about 9 months, right? And they were in fluid and therefore did not have to worry about the effects of gravity. Your baby now comes out, and just like you guys, and you know this too, if it's taken a long time to get back to the gym, you're out of shape, their muscles are weak. So, what are they doing? Well, in your stomach, they should be running around and they're moving and they're still because they have to get their muscles kind of going and working for the most part. When they come out into the world, they still have to do that, right? So this is why tummy time is so important. Babies will come out, their heads are floppy, right? It's hard for them to hold up their hands, their arms, their legs. And even if you see it, the only thing that they have is a nice grip. So if you put your finger in their hands, they're gonna grip. That is a reflex, not necessarily indicative of their overall strength. But at the same time, they have to learn how to hold up their arms and hold up their head and hold up their legs as well and their feet. And as they get older progressively, they start to do this. But the first things that they're going to work on is that head strength, right? Because their head's so big. When you look at your baby, you know, it's basically head and a little bit of body and like little legs and arms. That's what it's supposed to be. So now imagine this. Gravity is a force. We're on Earth. They have to work against gravity. So what does that mean? If a baby even attempts to hold their arm up, it's gonna shake. Why? Because they're fighting against gravity. If you try to have them even lift up their leg, it's gonna shake. Again, they're fighting against gravity. So you really want to think about that, right? If they're, in some cases, if they're trying to hold their head up, it's going to tremble. So if you're talking about those specific areas, so if you're talking about like the neck trembling, if you're talking about your child's arm shaking when they're raising it, if you're talking about their legs shaking, right, when they're moving them, or sometimes they'll twitch, or also at night, sometimes I will get this where parents are sitting there and they'll look at their baby all night just to make sure that they're breathing. This is normal. I'm not mocking you. I did it myself too. It's just ingrained in parents. So you may be watching your baby and they may move and you're like, oh my gosh, they moved. They moved in their sleep. They are human beings and they sleep, but wait for it, they also dream. I know that there's been like research and all this stuff, but regardless, guys, it makes sense. They also go through their sleep cycles, right? And just like if you were looking at your partner, or if a camera was fixated on you for the whole night, you would move. Your respirations will change at certain times, right? May go fast, may go slow. Maybe you'll have a deep sigh. You may move. But again, think about this. They don't have the muscles to move. So what could end up being more of a twitch could literally just be that muscle exerting whatever tiny little force it has just to move so much. And I even remember a story. I had a patient whose mother was very concerned because the baby would turn its head at night. So the maternal grandmother was like, there's something wrong with the baby. There's something wrong with the baby. There's something wrong with the baby. And this mom came in and she was distraught. Like, I don't know what's going on. He's meeting his milestones. Everything's okay. As soon as he got a little older, was able to get more strength, he started turning to the side. Lo and behold, the baby's a side sleeper and just found it more comfortable. But it was just, at the time, he had only so much muscle strength just to turn his head a little bit. So cut your kids some slack. I know it's kind of hard, but really just take that into account. They dream, they do have muscles and gravity. All right, so things to look for that may be concerning, right? If you are having more of a rhythmic, so if your baby's having more rhythmic, almost synchronized jerking, so where they're leaning forward, right, and they're moving with their arms, or if their arms are going up over their head and they don't seem to be oriented, right, which means they're not really looking at you, they're not really here, they're not present, then those are things to start being a little bit more concerned with. If it's associated when they're waking up as well, like just upon waking or after eating, let us know. These are the things that start to become a little bit more unusual. Okay. Now, there is an infantile kind of tremor syndrome. Please do not Google it, guys. But essentially what for that, you're looking at a bunch of other symptoms. So you have to really understand that as pediatricians, we're looking at your child's height, we're looking at their weight, we're looking at how much they eat, that we're looking at whether they're meeting those developmental milestones, because we're seeing how your child is developmentally, how their brain's functioning, how their overall health is. This is the most important thing. So if you're concerned about these syndromes that are very rare, you're looking at, again, synchronized movement, then contact your pediatrician, let them know, then you can start asking some questions. But otherwise, guys, if it's when your child's awake and it's an occasional hand shaking, it's going to happen that way, or an arm shaking, it's going to happen that way until they get enough strength to actually move against gravity. Around 3 or 4 months of age, that's when your child's head should stop doing this or this and then start doing this. And again, this is why tummy time is so important. But again, I know it is concerning as a parent, but it is not something that I want you guys to fixate on, okay? Because it really is rare. So again, you want to look at the timing, you want to look at what's incorporated, right? Or is the child, because if a child really does have tremors, they may have tremors, but it would tend to be all the time. It's not just when they're lifting something or trying to move something. And then at the same time, you also want to make sure that the child's not having coordinated movements. And again, it would be coordinated. It would look almost dance-like. So if you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, little Bobby's busting out the moves, that's a red flag, okay? Now, if little Bobby's just shaking his hand or shaking his leg or foot, we're good, okay? So I just want you to really focus on that. All right, well, I hope that that's helped. And you can always play this back for reference. If you need to look at more videos, please check out our YouTube channel. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, as always, our website, www.askpeds.com. Take care, guys.